every time I watch that, I realize I still got to fix it, and I never do.
Yep. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out someday.
Yep.
Good evening. How's everyone this evening?
Hey, good evening. How are you?
Good. Ron, I got to start by giving you some crazy props on all the videos lately.
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah, they just keep coming, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So, sorry. Yeah, I've been
Smash Mouth song. It just keeps on. It doesn't stop coming.
I know. It just keeps going. So, it's been a busy couple of months of making content and stuff. So I would love to see just gonna keep at it, I guess.
I would love to see a video of how the sausage is made.
Oh,
like how you reach out to the people, watch your
yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
It really is just it's one of those things where success begets success.
Right.
And you talk to people and they're like, oh, you should reach out to so-and-so. And I make it a point to not ask people for like, hey, give me their number or give me their whatever contact info. I always like, thank you for this suggestion. And then you can go to LinkedIn, you can go to their personal websites, you can go to things like that, and basically just kind of figure it out, like where it's like, they've got a blog and they have an email address, or they've got like a web submission form or something, and and you just say, hey, like, it'd be really great if you could do this if you have time. And lots of people don't, but lots of people do. And some people are just like, I can totally do this. We've got 30 minutes on a Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. I said, just take a late lunch and record it. And then they're like, you're an hour in, and they're like, oh yeah, this is a lot of fun. And I was like, yeah, it was fun.
Awesome.
So, yeah, spread the word.
Do people, like some of the people that you've reached out to, are they like not weirded out, but are they interested in how you still like things that are,
I've had
40 years ago.
Yeah, I've had more than a few people tell me these words. They're like, nobody cares about this. And I'm like, well, I said, I am reaching out to you, so at least one person cares.
Right.
So, if you have not done an interview recently, or you don't do interviews at all,
right?
It's a lot of these folks are getting up there in years, and you're only going to be around so long. So if you want to set the record straight, you want to share something back with people that followed your career or really enjoyed things you did, then this is a way to do that.
Awesome.
You of course, you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe me your time. You don't owe them your time. But if you think that this would be something interesting, then let's give it a try. So
for sure.
There's lots of times I'll have people that'll actually, I'll pick up my notebook that I'll reach out to, and they'll be like, I don't know. What would I even talk about? And I'm like, that sounds good. Let's talk for 30 minutes, have a 30-minute conversation, and then basically just turn that into questions. So like I just had a guy that told me, I don't have anything interesting to say. I've literally got 4 pages of notes of just different stuff about his career, and then you just turn that into questions. It's like, don't worry, I'm going to tee you up for things that you know about. I'm going to this is celebrating your career and making you look like a super genius. I was like, this isn't going to be a thing, because I guess, and some people have gotten weirded out because they've done interviews and stuff in the past, and people have just been like, so what was it like working at Apple? Or
what was Steve like?
Yeah, so it's like, I'm not really sure that that's all that interesting, and I'll do an interview with them, and then they'll be like, wow, that was really great. And I'm like, yeah, I really hope nobody's wasting your time with and I always bring up the Paul McCartney, like Chris Farley is interviewing Paul McCartney, and he's like, remember when you were in the Beatles? That was awesome. It's like, I hope nobody is doing that to you. I was like, but no, that's how the sausage is made. It's just be polite to people, reach out, be patient, work with their schedule, and say those words. I am on your schedule. You let me know when you are free. We will make this work, and then do your best to follow up on that.
So, is there any bucket list people that you've snagged so far? Maybe that
I
don't want to let any surprises out if there are any. But are there any?
I would really like to. Of course, everybody wants to talk to Woz, and all
Sure.
the Apple people I talk to says you really got to talk to Woz. You really got to talk to Woz. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to talk to Woz, but he's a busy guy, and he's at the point where he could still command $100,000 to go for a speaking engagement. So talking to me is probably way down on the list of stuff that he's got time to do. But I would say realistic people I'd love to talk to. I really want to talk to Ron Gilbert from LucasArts. He would be a great guy to talk to, and he seems amenable and accessible. So I'd really like to talk to Tim Schafer from Double Fine, the guy that kind of was the brain behind Grim Fandango and Day of the Tentacle and a lot of those old LucasArts games. I'd really like to talk to Ken and Roberta Williams, but I don't want to talk to them about making games. I want to talk to them about becoming authors, because Ken wrote a book about founding Sierra, and Roberta wrote a book recently called Farewell to Terra that's about the Irish immigration to the United States kind of after the famine. So I think it'd be interesting to talk to them about this new chapter in their lives.
Right. I was going to say it'd be nice to get them to help me log into my Steam account.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But and I'd love to talk to Woz. I don't want to talk about Apple. I don't want to talk about computers. I want to talk about being a joker.
I want to talk about money.
Trickster. I want to
his $2 bills.
Yeah. I mean, he loves telling that story, but more than that, of just pranks and being a joker and
the
things
phone
like that.
Freaking stuff. I find that terribly interesting. Like the phone freaking stuff with Captain Crunch.
Yeah, I think he talks about that stuff all the time.
He does.
But I got a book when I was a kid that was it was like Steve Jobs Steve Wozniak and another guy wrote this book. It's just all jokes and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to, as a kid that loved those knock joke books and things like that as a kid.
Am I remembering correctly? Did he not have a 1-800 number or a call number that was like a voicemail and it told Polish jokes?
He did.
Okay.
He still has a email list that he sends stuff out to people that that to talk to other Apple employees that are on that list. They'll say that you won't every day there's at least one thing, but some days there's 20 things. And some days it's 20 things in the middle of the night. And what people have come to understand is it's like, oh, Steve's in, or Woz is in Japan or something,
right? Because
he's awake, we're all asleep, but he's awake.
Right.
Yeah.
So but he just doesn't care. He just sending stuff. So don't have your alerts on, if you're really worried. Yes, if you're really worried about it. So
that's awesome. And of course, I really want to see you interview John St. John.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. Yes, and I've reached out and just waiting to hear something. Sometimes there's a person. I've actually got a bunch of Marchintosh interviews set up with people that are either media personalities or Apple engineers, people that have worked behind the scenes, former Microsoft employees, people like that have all this kind of connection with Apple and with gaming and media and all that. And the very first interview that's going to air in March, which won't tease it, but I'll tease it by saying that this is someone who was a big figure in media around the Macintosh in the 90s, who does not regularly grant interviews, and literally has not done an interview in 2 or 3 years. So, and this is somebody I had to chase for a year to get the interview. So
I have an idea, but I'm not going to say it.
Do you enjoy the hunt more than the I know you enjoy the interviews, but
no, it's oh my gosh, the hunt is the toughest part, because you're having to and not just that, but you follow up, and no, it is not David Pogue, but you tracking all the stuff, and I've gotten really good at it, to be like, okay, when was the last time that I attempted to make communication? How did I? Because in the early days, I was just kind of like, you'd send emails or you'd reach out to people and just kind of hope for the best. And now it's kind of a science of like, I reached out to so-and-so on this day via this method, follow up, or they responded, follow up on such and such a day. So yeah, so it's more of a, like, there's like, when it used to be 2 or 3 lines in the water, there's now like 15, 20 lines in the water at any given time. And so you reel people in as they have time, and and then book it and do all the stuff. So some weeks I'll do 2 or 3 interviews, and then I might not do anything the following week just because there was nothing that worked with other people's schedules. So, but that's really it. That's kind of it. And there's going to be some really good stuff, and I hope that people enjoy it. I hope that people listen. So we'll see.
Awesome. Well, that brings us to a great segue to Marcintosh, which is coming up shortly. Maybe, I don't know if Ron, we want to talk a little bit about what that is.
Ron, if you want to continue talking. It's marcintosh.com. Basically, you can go over there. You can learn everything about the event. This is going to be year 4 for the event. So, because it's I think it's been going since 2022. So yeah, this will be year 4, and you can basically, it's whatever you want to do. It's within reason. I mean, interpretive dance, whatever, you're fine. But it is a month-long celebration of everything vintage Macintosh. And when I say that, I mean everything from the Macintosh XL, and you could probably include Lisa stuff. That's probably fine. Executive decision here. You can include the Lisa. All the way up through the Intel Macs. So since those have now been deprecated by Apple, they might get a few little OS upgrade patches and stuff like that. But you really, not M series stuff, but everything back. So
my MacBook Pro 2018 that I have in front of me, that is Marcintosh.
It's Marcintosh worthy. Okay. So yeah. But the and it really just comes down to what you're doing with it. So if you're Listober. No, Lisa, that's Listober. But I mean, a Mac XL, or like if you've got a Lisa 2 that you're running MacWorks on, yeah, do some fun stuff. Show me what you got. But it's really just a month to bring the old machines back. If you don't work with them every day, pull them out of the closet, fix them up. Play some games, make a video, read some. Hold on, sorry. It's good to have props, but read some books about vintage MacBooks or something like that, and write a little blog post about it, or go and load up kit pics and print some stuff out on your image writer, and just basically have fun.
Join Global Talk and print on somebody else's image writer.
Yes, waste somebody else's power, paper, and toner.
Yes. Or something else I pitched is, get watch old Apple marketing videos and make fun of them Mystery Science Theater 3000 style.
Is that a VHS? Why is it so large?
Because it's a mailer. It's in a mailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But actually, this is funny. This is like a little engineering video that they sent out. It's like 3 minutes long or something. But yeah. So,
and if you have something like that is an archive, use that time for Marcintosh to archive it and put it up on the respected sites.
Mm-hmm. But it's really just celebrating the hobby and doing fun things. And it's if you go to the website, there's artwork and stuff that you can use, logos, a style guide for font recommendations and all that type of stuff. And if you are interested, you do have a classic Mac, and you do have the ability to hook it up to your Ethernet network at home. You can hop on Global Talk. There's an entire guide on how to do that, what software to install and all that, where you can play games on vintage hardware across the internet with other people, trade files, print to their printers. There's a chat client and stuff that you can use. It's pretty neat.
Awesome. And I believe there exists out there, at least I know for the Power PC, I had gotten a blue SCSI image that had everything already configured, so it was very set it and forget it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's I think the very first year for Marchintosh the very first year for Global Talk was 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So that first year was kind of hairy of everybody kind of figuring everything out because somebody had to actually purchase. They found a copy of the internet router software and did some research and figured out exactly what you had to do to allow your home network to kind of expose a single port so that way that you can connect to the Global Talk network. And yeah, and it basically it's a host file that you kind of have on your machine that basically says, okay, here's the IP addresses of the other machines, so you know exactly where to connect on the internet. And folks have written like an application. It's called like Air Config.
Yep.
That first year, you had to manually kind of update your file to add the IP addresses or host names of the people that were, you know,
there was a spreadsheet. It was
a
lot of work.
We still maintain the
still
spreadsheet so that way, because you have to have like, people that are interested in signing up. They got to have an easy way to get the information to other people. Right. So we still have that spreadsheet that people can go in, or basically you fill out a form and then you get access to the spreadsheet to add more data if you'd like to. But Air Config is really nice because it will basically use the spreadsheet to modify your local config file for your Apple internet router. So that way you can just, with a couple of clicks, stop and restart the router. You'll get all the updated machines that have been added since the last time you updated it. And yeah, I mean, there's hundreds of machines. Not everything stays up to date. Not everybody really has their network configured properly. So they might be able to see other people. You may never be able to actually see them. But it's still, at any given time right now, there are dozens of machines that are connected to Global Talk year round, where people share files, share printers. Like during the Super Bowl, I went and printed to a bunch of people's printers. I made like, I hope all of your owls are superb, and printed that to people's printers and put it out on their open shares, because that's the other neat thing. People have set up like a Dropbox or like an inbox where if you connect to their machine, a lot of people have uploaded like like a picture, or they'll upload like a text file with like, just like, hey, how are things, and all of that. So
yeah,
that was a fun thing.
Based on QSL cards for ham radio. So you'd have, this is my station, blah, blah, blah. And, somebody connects with you, you give them a QSL.
Yep. Yeah, and I think I remember, and I think you guys did it as well. You pre-design every year. I think I did it in GIMP or one of the might have been Photoshop, up an image, and then through the jigs and the rails, I was able to get it to transfer to my my Global Talk instance, and then I was able to share that with everybody. So it just had my my channel name, Happy Marchintosh. It was just a nice little graphic that I had made. So
and I think people really overthink the whole thing of like getting the files off of like a modern PC into that, because really all you need on the Mac side is like a copy of Netscape Navigator 2. And on your PC, you can download, if it's a Windows PC, you can just set up like an FTP server. So like FileZilla server is free. You just set it up, you keep it localized to your home network, and you can port 21 on the the address line of the web browser, and there's the file list. So,
and again, I had the blue SCSI, so that made it even easier, I guess. And but I also have an emulator, and I was going to say the other side of it too is if you don't have a machine you want to celebrate, you can do it virtually with some virtualization. I believe Ron, you had a video about setting that up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that did videos about it, but you can like I would say that in terms of stuff that's getting active, like cycle accurate emulation combined with actually being updated on a regular basis. The Snow emulator now has Apple Talk access, so you can earn networking access through Slip or something like that. So
Okay.
you do have to jump a hoop, but there's a guide where you can actually use the Snow emulator to connect to local talk stuff on your home network. And then if you don't have like a bridge or anything like that, like, oh, I don't have any Macs that actually have Ethernet, everything I've got is old, Blue SCSI, you can seriously just buy a Blue SCSI V2 with Wi-Fi and use that like virtual network interface. So yeah, there's a bunch of different options. Or I use QMU. That's the machine I leave up year round. That's a pretty okay emulator. It emulates a Quadra 800 that with networking and everything like that. So it's another option. There's a bunch of ways to skin this cat if you want to participate.
For sure. And like I said, it's a fun way to kind of get some surprises every day. I used to come in after work and check my share to see if anybody had uploaded anything, and it was always a fun little, thing to do during Marchintosh. So I enjoyed it.
And I've been preparing stuff, something that I didn't see in years past, but I intend to do this year is to also upload things where it's like if there's something going on, that because I know people do check that every day, but may not necessarily touch the same social media stuff that other people do. So if you've got an event or you've got something going on, or you want to draw people's attention to something, don't be afraid to like go out and drop a file out there that's like, hey, we're in 7 days we're going to play Spectre VR or something like that. You can put that word out there a couple of different ways for people.
Did we ever figure out if you could game on it?
Yeah, you can.
We can, right? Yes.
Yeah, you can play Bolo, you can play Marathon, you can play a lot of stuff. The problem is this: everybody needs to have level hardware and level networking, because if you a lot of those, just the net code and stuff, if one person drops, it kills the game for everybody. So you've got one person that's trying to do it on a Macintosh SE and everybody else has Quadra 950s, it is probably going to make everybody sad. Yeah. So,
but you know what? That's how it was back in the day. So
yeah, but
real life experience.
Yeah, but people last year, they played Bolo, they played I think Spectre VR, they played like anything with networking. What I'd really like to try this year would be to get a round of Wagon Train 1849 or whatever it is.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, the networked Oregon Trail. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I tried writing a hypercard stack for a couple of years ago to play a network game, and it was just way too slow to really be useful. So I kind of gave up on it.
Hey, Veronica. We were talking about your latest video before we started the video. About what is the name of the software again?
Graphene.
Graphene, thank you.
Graphene.
Yes, for the Pixel devices.
Yes,
everybody needs to die of dysentery for Marchintosh. That's great.
There was a really good podcast my eldest daughter listened to. It's a medical podcast where this person talks about, various things. And what they did was they played Oregon Trail and described the treatments that were available at the time for dysentery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of the treatments were worse than the disease.
Listen, if you stop making fun of Terry, you're not going to die.
Yeah. Turpentine is a really good, to drink for certain ailments, apparently.
Oof.
I know somebody who cut themselves once with a chainsaw, and they packed the wound with turpentine, and because that's the old, wives' tale, we'll say. And then when they got to the emergency room, and the doctor was like, "What the hell is this? And
Yeah.
why is it in the wound?"
Yeah.
I packed it with sawdust.
Yeah. Like, just made my job so much harder.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe's here. Hey, Joe. Welcome. So yeah, I think our discussion for this evening was going to be a mixture of VCF, table displays, and
Yeah.
stuff from Argentosh. So
how to participate thing.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. So Eric, as it was your idea, would you like to start with this lovely discussion?
Yeah, sure. So I thought we'd talk about the key elements of a great table presentation, or maybe not great presentations, like the kind of challenges you run into for a festival or something, whether it's VCF, where in Chicago, where it's ginormous and huge, and how do you stand out, or your local little event where somebody, maybe you want to be a little more versatile, or broaden the spectrum of what you're displaying. So that's what I thought we'd talk about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, step one obviously has to be a good functioning table.
Yes.
Table's fine. You've already lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
There's
John.
a certain amount of equipment. Gaffer tape, for
Yeah.
example, is one of the very important things to have.
Yep.
Duct tape, not so much, but gaffer tape.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't leave residue. A tablecloth, backdrop, things like that.
Yep.
Power strips, extension cables, the list goes on.
They're your foundational thing you need.
I will tell you that no one has mentioned the most important part. Hey, why don't you kill this banner here? Joe's wealthy enough already. The most important part, the part that nothing else happens unless you've got this, is a good idea for the table.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it without that, nothing else matters. And how do you get that? That's, I think, a great place for us to start. So what inspires you? What are you excited about?
Do you have something to share?
Do you feel strongly enough about something? It's to dedicate a weekend to talking about it.
And it doesn't have to be something that, you want to consider your audience, but that doesn't mean you've got to come up with something that only, that everybody is going to be excited about. One of the best displays from VCF last year, and I think Ron mentioned this in his review, was that little bedroom setup somebody did with some classic Macs in it and a lava lamp, and it was like, I'm going to step back into 1990 and kind of enjoy the ambiance, and it spoke for itself. They didn't really have to do anything.
It was like you remember video games used to come with feelies and things like that. It was the feelie of VCF. It was like that brought you the nostalgic ahs.
I think it ended up winning like best in show or something. It's just kind of, for fun, but
yeah.
I'll tell you one that always impressed me when I was at VCF, and I think it was the first year that it was there. It was the first year I was there, was the GM control computer for a vehicle. Right, like that's not everybody's cup of tea for sure, but I thought that was very cool how they had the entire wiring harness laid out with all the different components and how the injectors worked and how the ECU worked, and it was just something I wouldn't expect to see at a VCF, but it was cool to see it, and it was neat that somebody's very passionate about it. I think no matter what it is, even if it's not your cup of tea, when you talk to somebody who's passionate about something, it doesn't matter that it's not your bailiwick or your area. It's just cool because they're so passionate about it.
Yeah,
and they make it entertaining.
Yeah, there was a woman that had a rather extensive collection of Edison, audio equipment. The wax cylinder players and things like that. Knew a lot about them, and it was really interesting just to walk up and talk to her about them, have her show how they worked and all that.
Yeah.
So having, some visual appeal would be, otherwise you're just another table.
Yeah, you need a hook. You need a
Mhm.
something to get people over to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're excited though about whatever that topic is,
Yeah.
and you're willing to kind of get like info dump on people, then yeah, that might be a hook enough for some people. It's because there's lots of times you see a very plain table, but there's somebody standing behind it that obviously is very passionate about whatever this topic is. Like there's people that come that collect gosh, what are those called? Mini disc players. So they have like a whole table covered with mini disc players. And so that it's visually interesting. You come up, but you can just ask. It's not like there's little placards next to everything. You have to talk to somebody and be like, tell me a little bit about your display here, or what got you excited about collecting this. Not everything can be like the Chuck E. Cheese booth. Not everything can be
the Tomy robots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stuff that
not everybody can
visually
be
attracts you.
LTR.
Yeah,
I feel so bad. I'm spacing out on her name right now, but because it's been a long day. But she did a booth that was basically set up like a corporate training event, and you could go and sit down and taught a little class on. She did a couple of different classes, but when every time I walk by, it was something different. But it was basically like you could sit down and had a projector behind her that is like, you're showing off and doing, okay, now do this and do that. Okay, now you've learned this new skill and you can take it home and all of that. So
that's cool.
It's, oh my gosh, I feel so, I'm gonna feel so dumb after the show because I'll be like, oh yeah, it was her. But yeah, but again, if you're passionate about that thing, people will pick up on that, and that'll make for a really good time for yourself because you get to educate people about something that you're excited about, and hopefully get new people excited about the things that you're excited about too.
For sure. And I'll throw a little VCF Montreal in there. Our good friend Frederick of
Hollywood,
of Micro Hobbyist fame. He had a very plain table. It was just a table full of things that he was selling, just old computer stuff, which kind of brought people in. But then he had his new computer that he's building, his custom computer that he's building. And just to watch him talk to somebody about it, and again, that passion, that excitement, people were enthralled. People were showing up. There were people calling other people over to say, hey, come look at this thing. This is neat. Something that's being built. So, like you said, you can be a very, I won't say bland table, but it can be a very basic table and still be just as powerful as somebody who has, a corporate, like something you would see at what's the word I'm looking for?
like a CES or a
CES,
Comdex or something.
Yes.
It was June. That's whose name I was trying to remember. It's June. Yeah. But yeah, so being excited about the thing, really, really great. And I was actually my neighbor. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. But yeah, and then sorry to now that I'm caught up, you guys were talking about the logistics of things that you really need to have.
Yes.
And I think one of the most important things, and this seems to be the one that everybody
I know what you're going to show
acts as if you can't have this at one of these
God
shows.
God forbid. I'll be right back.
Yes. It's you need to. This is the most important thing you will have at the show, and that is called time.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that whatever it is, you've got big ideas. You're excited about 5 or 6 things. You need to whittle that down to one really strong thing and one thing that you're excited about, but maybe that's not the focus. So that way, if something goes wrong, maybe you can pivot. Don't bring, I've got 7 different computers here that all do different things, because it's like going to a wine and cheese party. After a while, it all tastes like a sweat sock. So just you like pick a thing that somebody can easily engage with, that you can speak to, and hopefully bring somebody in. Because if you got 9 different things, you'll attract 9 different people, and you will not be able to focus on any of that. And then this is where this comes in. The time, you just tell, hey, I'm going to be back in 20 minutes, because guess what? you're going to remember self-care. You're going to remember the fact you need to go to the bathroom. You're going to need to remember you need to stay hydrated. You need to get something to eat. You need to go and enjoy and see other people's stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
And if people
use it.
Yeah.
Use it, because last VCF, I chained myself to my table.
Yep.
Because I was afraid I was going to miss something. And I didn't get to enjoy a lot of VCF because I was at my table the entire time.
Ron all you ended up missing was fun.
Yeah, Ron and Kate were like, we want you to eat something, Eric. Please take this sandwich.
Yeah.
Your skin and bones, eat something.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's been like 6 hours since I've eaten anything. Thank you.
Or get up, stretch your legs, whatever. It's, just do a lap and come back, because if you're not there, and that's the big thing. If you're not there and people come up because they want to see you or they want to interact with you, they don't see you, they'll come back. Yeah. They'll definitely come back if they have an idea of when you'll be back.
Exactly.
So this is important. This is a really valuable tool. But if you make this pact, if you make this agreement with the people that are coming to see you, you need to follow through with this. Okay. So
if they're excited about what you're talking about, they're going to come back.
They'll come back. If you're there to sell and stuff like that, don't leave a buddy there that is like, well, I don't know what anything costs.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it costs. I don't know what they want for it. I don't know how to get a hold of them.
Or a buddy who will just make up a price.
Right. So, you can use this to just say, hey, I'll be back in 20 minutes and come back and talk to me about whatever this thing is you want to buy. Don't be, as a attendee, don't be afraid to say, hey, can you put this behind here? I'm going to be back in 20. Well, your buddy's not here. That's fine. Take this item, put it in the back, write my name on it. Here's my phone number. I will be back in 20 minutes to check on them and see if they're back. And if they're not here, if I'm not here, please have them call me.
So along with that, some of the informative content, some people do a really great job of having, maybe you want to have some placards with some information about what you're displaying so that you don't have to repeat everything all the time. Mm-hmm. If you've got two people at your table, you could be talking to one while somebody else is educating themselves by reading your content. Right. Mm-hmm. So
little table tents, very important. They're very easy to make, and you can just have like the broad strokes, like, hey, what is this machine? Oh, okay, here's the thing. This is the manufacturer, this is the model, here's when it was made. Small blurb about what it is. Like, you're not like trying think. I mean, you've been to a museum. I hope. So if you've been to a museum, you know what those cards look like.
Right.
A lot of very smart people, much smarter than me for sure, have already worked this out. Just follow their lead.
And I was going to say, also, depending on the type of person that's at your table, they may not be the kind of person who wants to engage or is, trying to be inclusive. So having some literature there might be a more
more their speed.
For them.
And that's a good point too, about recognizing that not everybody communicates the exact same way. Some people are just self learners. They don't really want to have a talk to you. They want the experience of interacting with whatever your thing is, but doesn't need to be a guided one. So,
and I guess on the other side of that, then you also have people that will engage with you and will talk to you for hours. So, obviously you need to be conscious of that. I mean, that you're not monopolizing your time. But, be soft in your approach.
Yes, Rudy has a good point on the self-care part of this. Keep your water and food like a snack at your table. If you're somebody that takes regular medications, make sure that you have those medications with you if they don't require refrigeration, or if they do, take precautions for that. And then make sure that you have an alarm set that actually you can hear.
Yes. Also, I'll say if you're not supposed to feed them after midnight, you probably shouldn't leave food at your table.
That's probably true too. True. Those shady tell guys, they'll come in gremlin out all your food. But something else, like you brought up about like people want to talk to you for hours. Also, have a wing person, wingman, wing woman that will be able to save you if you have been drawn into
Absconded with.
Yeah, if you've been drawn into something that is taking too long.
Have a code word.
Because here's the thing. It's not disrespectful to break off a conversation in a respectful way. And there are lots of people that are not good at the social side of knowing when to end a conversation or when to end something, because they'll yes and you forever because they don't know how to break that. If you have somebody that can just looking out for you and just be like, they've been talking for 20 minutes, I'm going to listen for a second and see if this sounds like that it's like circling the drain. Have them, you can pull them out. Hey, so and so needed to talk to you for just a second. The Shady Tell guys want to, and it doesn't have to be a lie. It can just be something that's germane to whatever's going on. It can just be, hey, Shady Tell wants to ask you about your phone. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. If you have a code word, I do this in interviews. I interview a lot of people, and you don't want to, in front of in a live interview, say, we're not really interested in you or something like that. But sometimes you want to wrap things up. So I have a code word I use, Oklahoma. So if you're ever in an interview with me and I talk about Oklahoma, so
now the musical or the
I think I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we talking about the musical or the state? Because if we're discussing,
the challenge is to work it in as a reasonable sentence during the interview.
Well, according to your file here, you have a furry little Surrey with a fringe on top. So, do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
How long is that fringe? Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say too, at the VCF events, your neighbors are very close. So if you don't have somebody there with you that you need to be your wing person, usually, everybody's very cordial. You can talk to your neighbor. Usually it's somebody but it's often might not be. So you can always go to somebody else at another table to say, hey, save me.
Yeah. And, take advantage of it if people offer to help you. I didn't last year. I had several people that said, hey, if you want me to come, stay at your table for a while, just let me know and I'll come over and I didn't. So.
Yeah. And I guess too, the other thing, as a person going to VCF, it's also good to keep it in mind that, these people that are presenting, the YouTubers that come, they don't want to overwhelm them. So, I often will wait for an opportunity to talk to somebody before going up and just injecting myself. I know that this past Montreal, VCF Montreal, I really wanted to talk to Leo. We had Leo Bravinsky, the guy who was one of the main programmers on the Naboo. We had talked online. We've been emailing back and forth for a couple of years. I never met him, so I wanted to meet with him. But every time I went there, he was like the Pope and having a session with another group of people coming over to talk to him. So I had to wait till very late in the day before I was able to actually see that he had some free time to go over and talk and didn't want.
Did you chase him down the hallway as he was trying to go, to his room?
No, because that's inappropriate. No, I just walked over and I said, "Hey, Leo, it's Ryan." And he was like, "Oh my God, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah,
and he gave me some awesome Naboo merch, which was cool. But yeah, so just I try to be conscious of people's time and not try to stop other conversations that are happening.
they're people too. They have their own needs and things like that. They're not there just to entertain you, so you want to make sure you give them space.
Sure. Right. Like after the 10th hug I gave Ron, I think he finally realized, like, you know what?
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
This is happening. We're just gonna do this. Yeah. So this is all good. Remember, if you can, the other thing I would say is, like Eric mentioned about people offering assistance and things like that. Yes. They're not saying it to be nice, they may see something you don't, and that might be that you are like, you can tell that you are
frazzled,
like, has, like, I was gonna say, oh gosh, I can't, I don't know the word I want to use, but it's that you are frazzled is a really good way to put it. Yeah. And so
ready to crash and burn.
Yes. So let them assist you. If somebody offers you a cart, if somebody offers you, like, can I carry this for you or something like that? Doesn't matter if you're fresh as a daisy or if it's hour 19. Just say, yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be really nice, because that might be their in. They want to talk to you about something or something. So
true.
Yeah. So, and honestly, a lot of this event is about connections and talking to people and seeing people you don't see every day. So never miss those opportunities. Something else I would say as someone, oh, thank you. That's very kind, Chris. Chris is another person that's really, really good about remembering to make space for people.
Yes.
So if people say, hey, are you going to be free to go to lunch today? If you really don't have any plans, there's no shame with just going there and just having a drink. You could sit there and drink a club soda, or you can have a tea or coffee. And because again, if they thought enough to ask you to go, you go. Yeah. And have that green tea and recharge and all that, because you do need to get away a little bit. You do need to, because you never know who you're going to bump into. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess actually, Ron, you made a good point. One of the things, sort of a tangible thing that I found, at least when I was moving stuff into VCF, was having a cart. If you can provide your own collapsible method of conveyance, definitely worth having with you, because you don't realize how big that room is. That is a long walk, especially if you're coming from not the loading bays. If you're coming in from the hotel room, that is quite a jaunt. So
I had a 2-tiered cart that was, you could completely take it apart and everything. So it's I bring that every year, so that way I can load it up with things and I can use it to move my stuff and do things. And when I see people that need a hand, it's got my stickers on it, so you can load it to people. They'll take it, they'll bring it back. I also have a hand truck, like from Horrible Freight, that Hobo Freight, that's it. That collapses down. It's either a hand truck or it's a hand cart kind of thing. That I bring both of those, but I'm lucky I live nearby. So make sure that you talk to people. Oh gosh. Yeah. Don't be like LaserJet 5. Yeah.
Well, my back hurts just thinking about that.
Yeah. With 2 500 sheet trays.
Oh gosh. And the tablet tray.
2 years ago, I brought an X-Serve. I think, was it Chris that took? No, it was Mr. McIntosh who ended up with it. Those things are heavy.
They are. But label your stuff. That will absolutely solve and label your things in. I mean, absolutely put something on facing areas so people can look at it at a distance and be like, that's whose that is. Even if you just write your name on it, also put your name on it in a non-obvious place. So that way, if like, oh no, like this is totally my cart, and it's like, right, but you flip it over and it has, your name etched in the bottom of it or something like that. I am not saying that has ever happened at this event. Right. However, there are people that will be there that who know other people who don't know you. Right. So if they have this thing and they're moving around, hey, I need to get my cart back. Well, no, I got this from so-and-so. Right. But let me show you. Whoop. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
Accidents happen too.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's not malice. That's actually, it's people looking out for other people. I don't want to be the one that like, oh, well, so-and-so said it was yours. Well, wait a minute. Why are you giving it to another person? Right.
Right.
So, yeah.
For sure. And again, the venues sometimes have carts and things of that nature, but don't bank on it, would be my,
all the people that I saw taking luggage rack things down to the thing. I think after a while they got on to people about doing that.
Yes.
So if it is possible, talk to somebody in your group that is driving and make the investment.
Now some of them, I've got one that actually folds into like a camping bag.
Mhm.
So it looks
Yep.
like a camping chair, but we open it up
Yeah.
and it's a rolly cart.
That's cool.
So they exist. They're small enough to be stowed away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to
And-
figure out a way to make a wagon train with 6 of them.
Yeah. 6 trips is what
Just
that
all
really
full,
is.
and they're completely full of Macintosh classics. 'Cause
Yes.
that's what you. Yeah.
Keep them weighed down so they don't tip.
Yeah.
So, mostly we've been talking about large events. There are smaller events around, and one of the groups that's local to me, it's fairly active, but it's only got maybe, I don't know, 8, 9 tables. Which is not small potatoes, but it's not VCF.
Right.
There is a kind of a different list of things that you have to bring, and not every venue, you might not be able to bring a cart in because they're carpet, or there's various reasons why you can't. Or you might need to have an unusually long extension cord to be able to do anything because they don't have power right there at the table, things like that. Having a table, I go to this local event. So far I haven't had to do it, but I've always said, hey, if you want me to bring my own table, I'm willing to do that.
Have table will travel.
Yeah. But for a smaller event, you might want to, if there's not going to be too many presenters, you might want to bring 2 or 3 things so that you've got something that appeals to a wider range of people.
For sure.
Because I know we're going to have our first event for our Lansing, Michigan area computer club is going to be in mid-March, and we have no idea if it's going to be just the 6 of us talking to each other all day, or if it's going to be 200 people coming in. Right. No way of knowing how popular it's going to be. So kind of try to be prepared for both, I guess. I don't know what other differences. Have you guys gone to smaller events?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We host a local. Well, we have it 3 times a year because there are 2. So we have one science fiction convention that has 2 shows a year, and we have one that has just 1 big show a year. And so we have a whole area that we set up for vintage computers at those science fiction conventions because our population here is so small that we had to kind of piggyback off a larger fandom convention because we wouldn't be able to put off our own type of event here. But yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there, Eric. Extension cords. It's at a hotel, but they only provide you access to the power plugs. They don't actually. It's not like DCF where it's a convention center and they drag out large powered, distribution blocks to each area, and then they provide you with extension cords. So, so making sure you bring extension cords, black tape, like you said, gaffer tape for taping down the cords because you're also expected to also not be a trip hazard.
Yep.
So if you have to sling cords, make sure you tape them down. Nothing worse for the hobby that somebody face plants and breaks their nose or gets a concussion.
Even if it's behind your table, do it for your own safety.
100% self-care. Remember, self-care.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you do bring extension cords, short extension cords, and when I say short, 15 feet max,
or less.
just 10 feet max, because you have to keep in mind that everything is calculated to the outlet.
Right.
Anything you add on that is additional impedance on your line and can cause you and the venue lots of grief.
So you're saying I shouldn't put my VAX on a 50-foot extension cord?
A 50-foot string of Christmas lights, Christmas
tree lights. This big around a cable, you might.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Real, not Temu extension cords
and power bars
that are of a gauge that is appropriate for the equipment you're going to be connecting, which is then connected to a power strip that is rated for the equipment that you are connecting. If you are connecting anything more than a desktop PC, if you're connecting anything more than some CRTs and things like that, you need to absolutely consult with whomever is running your event to make sure that you are within the power guidelines that they have laid out, because a lot of this stuff there is of course overage built into the calculation, but if everybody is over, then everybody is up the creek. So
I think 15 amp circuit, and if 6 people are hooked up to it.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind. I do movie stuff and all of that, and sometimes you go out there and there will be people that are not, they're not from our world, and they will have a 100-foot extension cable with a kettle plugged in at the end, or a space heater plugged in at the end. And you have to explain to them that your 1200-watt space heater at the end of a 100-foot extension cord is called
a fire.
Yeah, it's called a fire. If it doesn't if it doesn't trip the breaker, because this is also the circuit that has a refrigerator on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what else is on that circuit.
Yeah.
So just use a little common sense and err on the side of judgment.
Yeah, sure. Jesse makes a good point. Clean up after your events. There's nothing worse than being there. So I usually will bring garbage bags with me, just so I have. It's usually just in my box. I have a couple of garbage bags just in case we got to pick up a few pieces, and there's maybe the garbage can in the room. I found that a lot of conventions, the garbage cans that are in the rooms with you tend to fill up quickly with just people at the event putting stuff in them, and they only get replaced every so often. So bring your own garbage bags. It's helpful.
And we did that in our group. We actually, when I say our group, it was Adrian's Digital Basement was kind of on the far end, across from Eric. Like it's like a horseshoe. So Eric and Adrian, and then with Steve and Kate and myself in the middle there. And so we had, at our end of the table, we had paper towels, we had bottles of water, we had trash bags, we had a lot of those things that you just learn that the venue is not going to offer those things. So you need to bring that stuff so that way that you can be prepared.
Yeah.
We had scissors, we had tape, we had a first aid kit, we had cell phone chargers, we had zip ties, we had there's a lot of stuff you can just throw in a little go bag that will make your life. And not just that, bags, other bags, not garbage bags. Think about like Aldi or
reusable shopping bags.
Not like a Walmart bag. Heavy duty bag, so you can throw things in, because at the end of the show you collect up things or people drop stuff off. You want to be able that you can do that. Something else that's a good idea to bring. You think about like what the plastic pencil boxes kind of look like or something. You're going to collect small items that you don't want to lose and you don't want to get crushed. Have something to place those things in, so that way that you have a crush proof thing for small delicate things too. 3D printed items, all of that.
And actually,
go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, going back just a little quick to something Ron said about putting stickers on everything. One of the other side effects there is if you bring stickers with you, you can lay them everywhere, and it's a great way to promote your brand, your projects, your products. Just leave them on the free table. Give them out to people as they walk by. So if you can, before you go to the event, get some stickers printed.
Yeah. One of the things that one of my proudest moments was I had extra gaffer tape.
Perfect.
And I saw Veronica struggling to tape or to set up her stuff for the stop bits, and I'm like, aha!
So you were an instant
table, grabbed my tape, and came back in time and saved the day. So made me feel really good.
Is there a bird roadie character in the adventure? Maybe we need to.
I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. Don't be afraid to ask other people if they are going to the store. Because there's always somebody that forgot something.
Yes.
So make a list.
So bring extras so you can share. I think the first VCF, I ended up running out to Walmart because I had forgotten to get a few things. and bought a whole bunch of those 8.5 by 11, plastic display things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got more than I need. Anybody else need one? And I had some takers. So.
And the VCF I went to, I had a pile of extra network cards, and I had to give them out to people because you never know. People never bring their own network cards. You got to make sure that they all have 3Com PCI network cards.
They need a 905Cs.
Yeah.
905,
Yeah, there you go.
TX. Yeah.
A signed one, no less.
Nice. Yeah. But I think more than anything, the big thing that has come up a couple of times here, just like personal hygiene stuff was brought up. But if you are sick, stay home.
Yes.
I understand the fear of missing out is really something, but as a vendor, as a participant, as a presenter, if you're not well, stay home, because there are people that come to these events that are we are an aging hobby. Yes, we're working to get young people in. We want young people to be excited about the things that we're excited about and all of that, but it needs to be kind of a healthy and a safe, inviting environment for them to be part of that. And if every time I come to your show, I go home with like C. diff, that didn't happen to me. I'm just making that up. But it's like if every time you go to the event, you come home and you're sick for a week afterwards because people were selfish and showed up ill. That does not help you. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help the hobby. Take care of yourself. Stay home. Take a couple extra days if you need it.
And you could be like the Japanese. If you get to the event and everything, and then you start coughing, and you can't leave or something, wear a mask. There's ways you can mitigate. But yeah, if you got strep throat, probably shouldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
If you were bitten by a zombie, just don't go to the show. Just
like show people. Don't hide it. Come on.
Yeah.
That's how many zombie movies have you watched? Don't hide it. They're gonna find out.
Yeah.
It's always under the shirt. It's always just under the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
The audience can kind of see it. You're like, how does nobody see that?
Yeah.
Keep sticking tissues up there. Like,
right, exactly. It's like Sean's mom.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
So, but no, and I think that's something important. You bring up masks and stuff, and I know that for some people that's kind of a polarizing thing, but I think it really comes down to that you have to realize that to make it anywhere, you have to be willing to treat your friends like they're your friends, and think about other people and other people's needs, and think about other people's health. So like just put that away. That's just your ego talking. And if I work on this every day, I fail it every day, but I work on it every day, that you have to realize that some things are bigger than yourself, and you just need to realize that sometimes you step aside and to the betterment, and let other people, and then catch up when you can.
The greater good.
The greater good.
The greater good.
1, 2, 3.
The greater good. Yes, we did 2 Cornetto movie references.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll throw in there quickly too, which is handy to have, you do a lot of walking at these events.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you wear appropriate shoes.
Yes.
And on the side to that, if you need to, bring Band-Aids, have a little first aid kit, some moleskin, some Dr. Scholl's inserts.
Yep.
It makes all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It makes all the difference to walking around, because if you're not going to be having a table, or even if you do have a table, you do a lot of walking.
Yeah. I am not secretly from Canada. I'm just from the Midwest.
Yes. It's Canada adjacent.
Which is the Canada of the United States.
We're Canada's underpants.
Yes.
Frugal and nice. Cool thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
The other not every venue has things like the presentations that go on. It could just be tables, especially smaller ones. But I wanted to ask you guys, because I've got limited experience with smaller events.
Mm-hmm.
some of the people that are involved in organizing our first event are like, oh, should we have a presentation? What about a raffle? What about, maybe for a small event, you want to keep it simple at first.
Yeah.
Get your legs wet or your sea legs. I don't know.
Get your feet
wet.
Get your sea feet.
Get your sea feet.
And not try to do too much.
Yeah.
But also don't be afraid to try things. You never know.
Like we do a talk every year just on the hobby and some things to look out for when you're collecting this stuff. And when we have the ability, we just get in that little talk. I will do like a random number generator based on the number of people sitting in the room. And then I give them a 286 or a 386 or whatever I feel like giving away that day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, but it's a lot of fun. People get very excited about that.
Yeah. Yes. If you're planning an event or something like that, I actually am now helping with Kansas Fest stuff. So it is a small event, but I say I'm helping with it, but everybody has always helped with it because it is a thing where you'll go there, and if something needs to be done, people just pick up and work and do those things. So if you're at a small event in your area and you cannot be like on the planning committee, if you come to the event that day and you have a few minutes, just say, hey, is there anything going on? Do you guys need assistance with anything? And just throw yourself into it. VCF Midwest would, again, the superb owl of these events would not happen if it were not for hundreds of volunteers. I say hundreds. You see 20 people doing things with a lot of flurry of activity, but there are an entire support network of people behind them, significant others, spouses, kids, people in the community that work together to make those things. So you see the people at the top that are getting a lot of things done, but it is the people that show up on Thursday night that are laying out tables and putting out tablecloths, that are like measuring to make sure that things are set up exactly where they're supposed to be set up based on the planogram and all of that. So come with a good attitude and see what you can do, because again, it only happens if we make it happen, and we can only make it happen because of people stepping up and doing a little bit of something to help.
I want to encourage people too that, you might live in an area you think is a desert where there's no other people that are interested in the hobby or whatever. I bet you that you'll find other, if you're extroverted and you like to talk to people, you'll find them. But even if you're introverted, you'll still run into people. If you happen to be at the university surplus store and you're looking at something, there's usually somebody else that's there going, ooh, that's neat. Make those connections. We're starting up our Lansing area event. And I was just chatting with some people that were looking at an old Macintosh, and it was this younger person that was looking at it. And I said, oh yeah, that's a pretty good deal. This one you probably don't want, kind of a thing. And happened to mention and say, hey, we're thinking about starting up a local event for this kind of stuff. Would you be interested? So it happens. Don't be afraid to start something. You'll find kindred spirits.
Yep, definitely.
Eric, side note.
Yeah.
Do you know the biggest medical operation in U.S. history?
Ow.
Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, that's a good joke. Lansing, Michigan. Oh, sorry. How big is the boil in Michigan is the bigger question.
Went right over my head.
I got it. Do you still not get it?
No, I don't.
Oh, you lance a wound?
You lance a boil.
Lansing.
Lansing, Lansing, Michigan.
All right.
Ooh,
I'm having a dumb.
Sorry, Ron, you've been banned.
It's been a long year. It's only February.
It's February, Captain. It is.
We just had in the last 5 days 145-ish centimeters of snow, which my math tells me 145
What is that
centimeters
in eagle
feet.
inches?
That's 4.7 feet of snow.
Oh,
so it's been quite.
Are those sea feet or sea legs or wet feet? Or
They're pond feet.
pond feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Pond feet, yeah. All right, gentlemen. Is there anything else anybody has to add before we call it an evening?
Yes, I have one final thing to add.
Okay,
whatever
go
it
for
is, again, the focus should be having fun. And if you are someone who likes to obsess over details and things like that, it's good for a planning thing, but there is a point where you have to be able to turn that off and just enjoy the thing that you have made.
Yes.
And not beat yourself up, because not everything is going to go perfectly. Not everything is going to be exactly how you see it in your mind's eye. But you know what? The people that come and check out your booth or come and want to spend time with you don't see any of that, because guess what? They don't know that this little thing didn't work out exactly right. All they know is they get to come to this event, play with some cool technology, spend time with their friend, and secretly have those exact same fears and anxieties on their own. So just turn that off. And if it does feel like it's too much, if it does feel like whatever it is that you've planned is spiraled out of control, what you want to do is step back and ask yourself, why are you trying to pack too much in? Do you maybe need to take a year off to maybe look and take notes and figure out what you would really like to do, and then like reform and then do that thing?
Yeah.
There's no harm in that. There's no shame in just saying, you know what, I'm overwhelmed right now, I can't do this thing, or I don't feel comfortable, I'm not in the place where I need to do it. Or don't be afraid to reach out and ask other people and say, I got this idea for a booth, I don't know if I can do it on my own. Would you go in with me?
Team up.
Yes. Talk to people, because again, there are other people out there that have the exact same anxiety, the exact same fears that you do, and we are stronger together than we are separate.
Amen.
That's it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, gentlemen, it's always a fantastic time having a chat with you. Frank apologizes for not being here. He's not feeling well again this week, so we wish him a speedy recovery on his cold, I guess.
Well, they've got
Children.
younger folks at their house, so it's the kid crud time of year. So.
Yeah,
it is. As opposed to the seasonal disorder, as we call it at the school, the seasonal not disorder, seasonal affliction.
A seasonal
affliction.
affective disorder, or
lice.
Oh,
and it's the fall usually is when the lice come out, so we refer to it as seasonal issue or seasonal affliction.
Really? Okay.
Instead of calling it what it is.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. We look forward to seeing you all not next week, but the week after. Next week is Retro Repair Roundup. Ron, any insight into what's that going to be?
It'll be the first of the month, and the new schedule for RRR is that the first of the month is basically just kind of a catch-up video, promotional things, all that, whatever people are working on, and then the second of the month is like interview and talking to people kind of in our hobby and our community and things about neat things that they're doing. So
awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
So plus it's less work. It's less work for everybody involved, because it's there's a lot of time that goes into like we talked about at the beginning of the show with like vetting guests, trying to get people there. If something falls through, like putting somebody back through. So there was a lot of times where we'd have somebody lined up and they would be like, hey, listen, something came up, I can't be there on Sunday night. And so now you've got to slide somebody else in that slot and try to have a couple of people ready. It's a lot. It's a lot. So
you have you have a Carrot Top or somebody that you have on call for like backup.
It's Joan Rivers. You got to have the person that's always the guest, It's, if Johnny can't be there, you can get Joan Rivers to come in.
Right.
Host. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Everybody have a fantastic week. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Yep. Good to see you. Bye.